Amazing. Today, we are going to talk about something that perhaps makes many of us wonder, even worry when we witness it, and that is why some people seem to really enjoy taking risks, even disregarding their own lives to a surprising extent. Have you ever watched videos of extreme sports, breathtakingly daring stunts, or known someone in real life who is always seeking dangerous adventures, and wondered, what is going on in their heads? Why are they willing to gamble with their safety like that, when life has so many other meaningful things to do? So many people who need their existence and contributions. The contrast between the desire for thrill-seeking and the immeasurable value of a life, of the ability to help family and community, makes this topic complex and full of unanswered questions. Today, we will together delve into why do many people like to take risks and disregard their own lives to such an extent? You yourself can do so much else to help others and your family. Exploring the psychological, biological, and social aspects behind extreme risk-taking behavior, and connecting it to the deeper meaning of life, the ability to contribute and create positive impact, specifically for young and middle-aged people in the U.S., with curiosity, science, and a reminder about the value of each individual. Dear friends, understanding risk-taking behavior, especially forms that seem to disregard life, is very important for young and middle-aged people in the U.S. Firstly, U.S. culture sometimes emphasizes independence, challenging limits, and seeking success through breakthroughs, which can inadvertently encourage some risky behaviors. Secondly, both age groups have their own pressures. Young people may seek identity, prominence, or cope with insecurity through risk. Middle-aged people may experience midlife crises and seek renewed excitement or meaning. Thirdly, the influence of media and social media, where risky actions are often celebrated and spread, also plays a significant role. Understanding the motivation behind these behaviors and the potential risks helps us make wiser choices for ourselves and support those around us. Research in psychology, especially sensation-seeking theory, neurobiology, the role of dopamine in the brain's reward system, and sociology has provided many insights into why humans take risks. Connecting these insights with the meaning of living a life of value, contributing to family and community, is a way to reframe the perspective on risk and the true value of oneself. So, why do many people tend to seek risks, even seemingly life-disregarding ones? And how can we balance the desire for thrill-seeking with the awareness of the value of life and our ability to contribute? We will delve into these aspects. First, the inner call, which is the need for sensation-seeking and excitement. This is a widely studied personality trait in psychology. Some people have a higher innate need for novel, complex, and intense experiences, even when they involve physical, financial, or social risks. Why is this need strong? It is related to neurobiology, particularly the activity of dopamine in the brain. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and motivation. For sensation seekers, risky activities release large amounts of dopamine, creating feelings of euphoria and worthwhileness. Example: a young person participates in extreme sports like skydiving, free solo climbing, or high-speed racing. The adrenaline rush, intense focus, and feeling of pushing limits bring them extreme excitement. Work, family. This need can manifest in taking big risks in business, investing in dangerous projects, or seeking sudden changes in family life, e.g., deciding to move to a foreign country without a concrete plan. Mechanism. The brain's dopamine-based reward system reacts strongly to novel and stimulating experiences, driving sensation-seeking behavior. How to recognize and cope. Identify whether you or those around you have a tendency for sensation-seeking. Understand that this is a personality trait with a biological basis. Find safer and more constructive outlets for this energy, e.g., controlled extreme sports. Creative projects requiring innovation. Learning complex new skills. Next, influence from environment and society. Which is social pressure, media and social media influence. In some environments, risky behavior can be seen as cool, brave, or admirable. The influence of friends, family, and images conveyed in the media, movies, advertising, social media, can encourage people to try dangerous things to be accepted, become famous, or feel good enough. Why is this pressure strong? Humans are social creatures. We have an innate need for belonging and recognition. Seeing others perform risky actions and receive praise can trigger the desire to experience the same. Example: a teenager participates in a dangerous challenge on social media to attract views and attention from friends. A middle-aged man buys an expensive sports car and drives at excessive speed to feel "still got it" in the eyes of his peers. Work, family. Pressure to succeed quickly in career can lead to taking huge financial risks. Desire to show wealth or achievement in the eyes of family can drive reckless investment decisions. Mechanism. The need for acceptance and recognition activates social reward systems, driving behavior that seeks praise, even when it involves risk. How to recognize and cope. Identify the social and media pressures around risky behavior. Evaluate whether you are doing something because you genuinely want to or just to impress others. Build self-esteem based on intrinsic values rather than external validation. Seek healthy communities that value personal growth and contribution rather than just thrill-seeking. And also, the dark side of the soul, which is coping with stress, insecurity, or mental health issues. For some people, extreme risk-taking behavior can be a way to cope with stress. Deep insecurity, feelings of emptiness, or underlying mental health issues like depression, anxiety disorders, bipolar disorder, or personality disorders. The feeling of excitement or danger can temporarily numb emotional pain or make them feel alive when feeling emotionally numb. Why is this dangerous? Because risky behavior is just a temporary coping mechanism. It doesn't address the root of the problem, and can lead to serious consequences. It is a sign of inner suffering that needs professional support. Example: a young person feeling depressed and aimless in life turns to illegal risky activities, e.g., illegal street racing, to feel they have purpose or are alive. A middle-aged man after a career failure becomes reckless in investment decisions, hoping to regain what was lost. Work, family. Relationship stress leads to reckless behavior without considering the consequences for the family. Insecurity about the role of father, mother drives risky actions to prove oneself. Mechanism. Risky behavior releases endorphins and dopamine, creating a high that can temporarily mask emotional pain. It can also be a manifestation of impulsivity or lack of planning ability, which are associated with some mental disorders. How to recognize and cope. Identify whether risky behavior is accompanied by signs of excessive stress, insecurity, or other mental health issues, sudden mood swings, loss of interest, difficulty sleeping, difficulty concentrating. If so, consider it a sign to seek professional support, therapist, psychiatrist. Learn healthy coping skills for stress and negative emotions. And also, the lack of awareness of consequences, which is lack of experience, poor risk assessment ability or feeling of invincibility, especially in young people. Lack of life experience and underdeveloped risk assessment skills can lead to underestimating the consequences of risky actions. The feeling that won't happen to me, or I'm fast, skilled enough to get away with it. Why is this lack of awareness common? The human brain, especially the prefrontal cortex responsible for planning and risk assessment, is still developing until around the mid-20s. This explains why young people tend to be more impulsive and prone to taking risks. Example: a young person drives at extremely high speed after drinking, believing they can still control the car. A young person participates in a dangerous challenge on social media without thinking carefully about the possibility of injury. Work, family. Ignoring safety regulations at work because they think they know how to do it. Making financial decisions based on luck rather than careful risk analysis. Mechanism: underdeveloped prefrontal cortex activity. Dominance of the emotional system, limbic system, in decision-making, leading to impulsive behavior and difficulty assessing long-term risks. How to recognize and cope. Educate about risks and consequences, not just theoretical but through real-life stories. Encourage careful thinking before acting. Seek advice from more experienced people. For yourself, develop the habit of carefully evaluating potential risks before making important decisions. Finally, the irreplaceable value, which is the value of life and the ability to contribute to family and community. In contrast to risk-taking behavior that disregards life is the immeasurable value of a life. Your ability to do meaningful things, help those you love, and create positive impact on the world around you. Every life has its own value, and each person's ability to contribute is unique. Why is this important? Because when one is clearly aware of their self-worth and their ability to contribute, they tend to cherish life more and carefully consider before putting themselves in danger. Knowing that someone needs you, that there is meaningful work to do, provides a strong motivation to live and protect oneself. Example: a father/mother thinks about their children and their responsibility when facing the temptation to engage in a dangerous activity. A young person is passionate about a community project, which becomes a strong reason for them to avoid unnecessary risks. Work, family. Awareness of the family's dependence on their income can make people more cautious at work. The desire to be a dutiful child or a good sibling can be a motivation to avoid risks that could cause pain to the family. Mechanism: awareness of meaning and purpose in life activates brain regions related to value and intrinsic motivation, strengthening self-preservation behavior and pro-social behavior. How to recognize and nurture. Spend time reflecting on what is truly important to you, family, personal goals, community values. Find ways to contribute to those things. Remember that your existence and happiness bring value to those around you. Fueling wisdom and appreciation for life, nutrition for judgment, emotional balance, and contribution energy. While nutrition is not a direct solution for extreme risk-taking behavior, A healthy diet supports brain function, helps maintain emotional balance, and provides the necessary energy to make wise decisions, assess risks, and participate in positive contribution activities for yourself and others. Eating to live a life of value and appreciate yourself. Nourishing your brain and body for wise choices. Focusing on nutrient-dense foods can support the cognitive function needed for accurate risk assessment, memory and concentration to learn from experience and focus on the present. Help regulate mood and impulsivity, and provide stable energy to pursue healthy goals and contribute to society. Omega-3 fatty acids support brain health, improving memory, concentration, and emotional regulation, very necessary for learning from mistakes, one's own and others, focusing on assessing dangerous situations, and controlling impulsivity. Sources: fatty fish, salmon, sardines, walnuts, chia seeds, flax seeds. Mechanism: important component of brain cell membranes. Affects neurotransmitter activity and brain flexibility. B vitamins. Essential for energy production and nervous system function. B vitamin deficiencies can affect mood, energy levels, and concentration. Sources: whole grains, lean protein, eggs, leafy greens. Mechanism: involved in energy metabolism. Supports neurotransmitter production. Protein provides amino acids that are precursors to neurotransmitters related to alertness, concentration, and impulse control. Sources: chicken, fish, beans, lentils, eggs, tofu. Mechanism: provides building blocks for important brain chemicals. Supports psychological stability. Complex carbohydrates provide stable energy for the brain, helping to maintain concentration, planning ability, and decision-making, important for careful risk assessment. Sources: whole grains, sweet potatoes, beans. Mechanism: provide a stable source of glucose, the brain's primary fuel. Antioxidant-rich foods protect brain cells from stress and inflammation, supporting overall cognitive health and emotional resilience, helping you make wiser decisions and cope healthily with pressures that can drive risky behavior. Sources: berries, colorful vegetables. Mechanism: combat oxidative stress. Hydration. Dehydration can impair cognitive function, increase irritability, and reduce energy, all of which can negatively affect judgment and alertness when facing risks. Sources: water, herbal tea, how to incorporate simple nutrition supporting wise choices, maintain balanced, regular meals focusing on whole foods, include sources of omega-3s, B vitamins, magnesium regularly, drink enough water throughout the day. Avoid relying excessively on fast food and sweets to cope with stress or boredom. Mechanism summary: a healthy diet provides the brain and body with the necessary nutrients for effective function, supporting mental clarity, emotional regulation, and energy, helping you make wiser choices about risks and appreciate the value of life. Simple recipe ideas: focus on clarity and energy. Oatmeal with berries and nuts for breakfast. Chicken, fish salad with whole grains for lunch. Dinner with lean meat and vegetables. Snack on berries or walnuts. Ensure adequate hydration. Nutritional advice. Warnings. Nutrition is a supportive factor for good judgment and mental health. It is not a direct cause or solution for extreme risk-taking behavior or disregard for life. If you or someone you know exhibits persistent dangerous risk-taking tendencies, especially with signs of mental health issues. Seek professional support immediately. Do not rely on nutrition to solve deep psychological problems. Consult a doctor or registered dietitian if you have underlying health conditions or concerns about mental health. Before understanding these motivations better, perhaps you felt confused, frustrated, worried, or even angry when witnessing extreme risk-taking behavior. Felt helpless not knowing how to talk to or help loved ones who tend to disregard their own safety. Felt yourself questioning the value of life when facing unnecessary risks. But as you understand the complexity of risk-taking behavior, the psychological, biological, and social factors behind it, you will feel less judgmental, gain deeper insight into sensation seekers, feel better equipped to recognize when risky behavior becomes dangerous and needs support. And most importantly, you will feel a greater appreciation for the value of your own life and your ability to make a positive difference for yourself, your family, and your community. An older generation says, "Caution leads to no worries," meaning being careful helps avoid problems, especially when facing risks. Our grandparents often taught, "First scholar, second farmer, then scoop manure if out of money," meaning every job, every role in life has its own value. No need to risk life to prove oneself. There is a proverb that says, "Wise on the river, foolish on the sea." Be cautious and know your limits when facing big challenges. Bringing it all together, risk-taking, value of life, and ability to contribute. The fact that many people enjoy taking risks, even disregarding life, is a complex phenomenon related to the need for sensation-seeking, influence from environment and society, coping mechanisms for stress or psychological issues, and lack of awareness of consequences, especially common in young and middle-aged people in the U.S., where culture and life pressures can contribute. However, the important thing is that every life has irreplaceable value, and everyone has the potential to contribute greatly to family and community. By understanding the motivations behind risky behavior, recognizing when it becomes dangerous, and connecting it to the deeper value of life and the ability to contribute, we can make wiser choices and live a more meaningful life. Specific actions to learn from or be cautious about. For yourself, identify your own sensation-seeking tendencies and find safe, constructive outlets for that energy, e.g., learning a new sport with a coach, engaging in creative projects requiring innovation, setting ambitious academic or career goals. Practice objectively evaluating risks before making important decisions. List potential consequences. Ask for advice from trusted people. Pay attention to your mental health and seek professional support if you are dealing with stress, insecurity, or using risk-taking as a negative coping mechanism. Spend time reflecting on what is truly important to you and those you love, and the ways you can contribute value to their lives and the community. For those around you, recognize warning signs of dangerous risk-taking behavior in loved ones, sudden behavioral changes. Talking about not valuing life, seeking increasingly large risks, signs of substance abuse or mental health issues. Talk to them sincerely and without judgment about your concerns. Encourage them to seek professional support from a mental health expert or mental health support organizations. Share information and resources about mental health and suicide prevention, like the 988 Lifeline in the U.S. Risk-taking is not always bad. Controlled risk-taking can help us grow and explore our limits. The important thing is balance and awareness of risk. If you or someone you know exhibits persistent dangerous risk-taking tendencies, especially with signs of depression, anxiety, or other mental health issues, please do not hesitate to seek professional support immediately. Cherish the value of your life and your ability to make a positive difference in this world. Remember, an older generation says, "One tree cannot make a mountain. 3 trees together make a high mountain." We need each other. Your existence and contribution are important to those around you. Dear friends, seeking thrill is part of human nature. But valuing life and using your energy to create positive value for yourself and the world is what is truly meaningful. By understanding the motivations behind risky behavior and connecting it to the purpose of life, we can live a life full of challenges but still safe, fulfilling, and meaningful. Don't hesitate to share your thoughts on risk and the value of life in the comments. Or share a healthy way you have dealt with the desire for thrill-seeking. Or any questions you have about this topic. Our community is here to learn and support each other. And if you found this video helpful and want to explore more ways to live a meaningful life, develop yourself, and build positive connections, don't forget to hit the like button, share this video, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. Goodbye, and I'll see you in the next videos.